I love you, Will.
I love Will more.
Hello. And
Hello.
welcome to a brand new episode of Silver and Steel, our very own homebrew campaign right here on D&D Beyond, D&D 5th edition, of course. Welcome. We're so excited to spend this week with you and see what adventures our players get into. But first, let's introduce who our players are. B-Dave, take it away. We've got a new overlay. I'm now noticing that.
We have a new overlay. Ironically enough, I was busy pulling up chat to say hello to chat, and now I'm saying hello to chat. So hello, chat. B. Dave Walters, I say words about things. I'm somewhere 7 days a week, and here today I am playing freely, the luckiest boy in the whole world, who, by the way, I should say now, is available now on Idle Champions. You should go and play because he'll make the game and your experience so much better because he's a sweet boy. Avren way overdoes it in Idle Champions. He gets all big and everybody gets small, and it's like, Avren.
That was the meeting. We were like, okay, what are the biggest a-hole powers?
It's mission accomplished. But hey,
making everyone small.
Yeah, there you go.
Making yourself big, and then making like 20 of you.
Yeah,
we got it covered.
Yeah, you can have Avren and Freely on your side. And yes, I'm done talking.
Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond. I have both Avren and Freely in my formation. And Briv, I have them all because I like to collect them all because it's Idle Champion. It's awesome. I'm not playing any of those characters. I'm playing Callie, the Warforged rogue, who just wants to save her father.
That's so wholesome. Todd?
I can't really follow up that. I am the creative manager at D&D Beyond. And also I play Avren all the time in every game system, on every planet, apparently, and on every stream. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, continue.
That's what I had.
That's it. I cut you off. I feel bad.
You cut off me saying that's all I had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better about it. And last but not least, Meagan.
I really like this overlay, by the way. I'm Meagan Kenreck. I'll be playing a level 5 alchemist, artificer, and I have crab leggies.
Crab legs.
Crab legs. A giant chain of them.
Mm.
And I am that bronze girl, your DM for today. Yeah, can't wait to see what our players get into. But first, we've got some amazing fan art. Right?
Yes.
Let's
yes,
take
we
a look
do.
at it.
Yeah, look, it's Daisy.
Oh my gosh, Daisy.
It was inevitable.
Yeah.
We need 30% more mucus. 30% more mucus at least.
At least.
Yeah.
I don't know. You lesser restorated her, so maybe she won't have the snotty nose anymore.
I don't know.
No, I feel like it's a fixture.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that her snot will become like sentient and like her pack to the chain familiar or something.
I think we all know that when Daisy ends up in Idle Champions, and she will, Daisy snot is going to be one of the items that sort of like levels up over the course.
Maybe she can conjure oozes. That would be cool. Like conjure a gelatinous cube or like
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Right?
Oozomancer. Mm-hmm.
Is that when she levels?
I've wanted Oozomancer for so long.
Right? It could be like Guiji from Luigi's Mansion. You know, she could like create a second ooze version of her, kind of like an Echo Knight, but 100% more disgusting.
Mucus. Yeah. No. You know what? You've got some pull with the person that runs this game. I feel like all of those things should happen. Yeah.
Right?
I have done design work on a subclass that has not been released that involves ooze. I will confirm that.
Ooh. Watch. She's gonna respec into Echo Knight, except it's gonna be Ooze Knight.
When she's
gonna have
ready,
a shadow version of her that's made out of snot that does a strike every time she strikes.
When she's ready to retire her crab mount, she will have an ooze mount at the ready. It'll be great.
I've said from the beginning that she's the actual last boss, or we are actually the last bosses, and she's going to defeat us. Either way, the confrontation is inevitable.
It'll be a nice switch when Jasmine is fighting us, and like one of us is DMing, and like that's the turnaround. That's the big surprise end, everyone. To steal, it's like Daisy has to murder all of us,
and yet we will still all be rooting for Daisy.
Exactly, we're like coming.
I'll be rooting for Daisy.
Yeah, coming to September 2021. All of us versus Daisy.
It's like
she has some leveling up to do.
We have faith in her. It'll be great.
Yeah.
She has been pretty active, as you've noticed from her shenanigans and her chicanery in the background. She has something you guys don't have, which is
chicanery.
I was gonna say a baby's energy. You know, like she's
Oh,
a
shit.
kid and she has kid energy. So she's just like, you know, the type of person that complains when they have to take a nap. Whereas like, I feel like we're all the type where it's like, I wished I could take a nap.
Always.
But when we were a kid and you had mandatory nap time or your parents made you take a nap, you'd be like, I don't want to take a nap. And now I'm like, what is that emotion? I felt that at one point. I was mad about taking a nap. That's a thing.
The nap is the reward now. That is true.
Right? Now someone's like, you need to take a nap. I'd be like, yes. Thank you.
I miss second sleep. I miss waking up and then like, I'm gonna go sleep. Like,
Oh,
anyways.
yeah.
Oh, I can't do that now.
Yeah,
No,
that's the best
naps
part
are
is
nice.
falling back asleep.
Yeah. I would set my alarm to wake me up so I could fall back asleep. That's how weird I was about it. All right.
Wow.
It is.
Now
It
you
is. It
Old
is a
and
good
have
feeling.
responsibilities.
Now you have my alarm doing that for you
Thank
5,
you.
6 times every morning. So you're welcome.
And you give me like the coffee, and then I'm just like,
A terrible influence.
Are you a snoozer, Megan?
Yes.
See,
a chronic snoozer.
I was a chronic snoozer my entire life. I can sleep through anything. And the thing that fixed it, and it just fixed it, was I read when it was like, if you're having trouble snoozing, just tell yourself that if you hit the snooze button, you're starting the day off on a loss. You're starting the day off on a defeat. Because you
Oh,
were
man.
like, I'm getting up.
Oh,
And then the
that's
clock goes
hardcore.
off.
Oh,
and
too
you're
much
like,
that's a
pressure.
good point because I'm way too
Wow.
competitive to be losing that early in the day.
There it is. There it is. That is the only thing that ever helped me was that idea. Yep. Mhm.
yeah, you just
know,
you put it in
take that
Overwatch
to
terms
heart.
for.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that to heart because I'm one of those people that sets 4 alarms, but I want to wake up on the first one, but the fourth one's the one I know I have to wake up on. So I know if I need to wake up, that I will wake up on the fourth one.
Mhm.
But I still find myself snoozing the first one. But if I was like, no, doing this is defeat.
Just imagine one of those neckbeards being like, you can't even get up. You're just a girl. And you'll be
Ew!
Challenge accepted.
like, wake up in the morning.
Not to
That
play
is the
devil's
weirdest slam.
advocate,
You can't
but
even
every
get
time
up.
you
No.
hit the snooze button,
You can't get.
Just
You can't get up.
rage. Rage.
I'm just gonna wake up early and mad now.
As you check your Twitter hate feed in
Right.
bed.
Megan's gonna wake up and be like, "Get your own damn coffee, Todd."
Good. Your hate has made you powerful. Good.
Has anyone ever tried Clocky, the clock with wheels that runs away
No.
when its alarm goes off? I wonder if it
No.
works.
No.
hell.
No.
It sounds terrible, but I wonder if it works.
No.
Chasing a clock around to get it to stop blaring at you.
I'd probably just throw it out the window, to be honest.
Yep.
It would be me throwing money out the window, literally.
I
Oh,
realized
gosh.
we made this. Did Lauren even get to say her hellos?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
We all,
you
we all
did.
got our hellos.
Yeah.
We just
Okay.
then
Okay.
continued
Alright.
to talk. It was great.
Well, those are our
it.
sleeping habits, everyone. Can we offer you up a long rest or D&D?
Mhm.
There you go.
True.
And just like that, hit the trailer. And we're back. Before we get into the game, does anyone want to recap what happened in our last episode for the audience?
Crabs.
Crabs. And Callie's dad.
We all got
Crabs and
crabs.
Kelly's dead. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I got crabs. Yeah, the rest of you, Daisy and I got crabs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, a fresh new crab mount. What did you name her again? I forget now.
Click clack.
Click clack.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'm not trying to bring her down underground with us. I let her go, but she's click clack.
Mhm.
This is a character who's named Freely. So I figure click clack is what comes out of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's how I live freely.
And that is exactly where our adventurers are going. Into a cavern, into a giant sea cavern, to be exact. One that you know in which the water level tends to rise and recede. That's something that Callie has made you all aware of. Sometimes the water got as high as her chest when she was in there. That might be a problem for the smaller members of the party.
Yeah, that's sounds problematic. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah,
is
more so than the
ironically-
bigger members of the party.
That ironically includes me, as Callie is only like 5'2". She's not a very large Warforged, so it's Freely and I. And so if it came up to my chest, like Freely's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
So-
Yeah.
Freely's pretty big for a halfling, but I still think he's like 4'9" though. Yeah.
I am. So I did cast the. Everyone got a +10 bonus to their stealth, and I believe
Yes, you passed pass
pass
without trace, and you also used Blessing of the Trickster to give you advantage on stealth checks.
To specifically Callie, actually.
Yep.
Okay. Let me make.
I
a note.
am so benevolent, and also I will be willing to put Freely on my back,
Good
Okay.
choice.
Yoda style.
And if worst case scenario, we do still have some of that weed that the three of you can eat. Listen,
Mhm.
that's what we were calling it. That
That's what it
lets you
is.
breathe water for an hour. So if things
Yeah.
get really bad, there's a backup plan.
It's
Mhm.
airweed.
Well,
And
then
the reason-
Freely's going to carry me.
And the reason we're venturing into these caves is because of a very mysterious communication Callie got from her father. And I believe our marching order was Callie, Sofieus, Avren, and Freely.
Yep, and I do have the psychic link up, so
Okay.
we are chatting psychically.
Did you want to short rest before you went inside?
Did we
Yes,
do
please.
that? Oh, I thought we had already done that after
I
the crab
have-
fight.
We did
I don't think
not,
so.
but
Okay.
I've got some concern that the tide's going to come in and that cave is going to be flooded. So, do we have time for a short rest?
I look
I
at
mean-
the moon.
I mean, I look at the person who's been here.
Sophia's, I'm not really in tune with the tides or anything. Do you know if, I mean, you collect sea urchins and all that gross stuff.
It
But-
looks like if we go into this cavern, there's a really good chance that we may drown. Even though Freely is on top of Avren's shoulders, there's not going to be any air.
Could I make a survival check to see if I know how long we got till the tide comes in? That is a big old 16.
16's good enough.
Yeah.
You look at the time of day and you surmise that yes, you do have time for a short rest. However, it occurs to you as it gets darker, it's going to be more difficult to make your way into the caverns. You'll have to come up with some pretty good solutions for light.
Shing! Glowing sword.
Yeah.
I still do have my hooded lantern, so we
Mhm.
do have non-magical light sources as well. Although, and I guess Callie will say this won't work underwater.
Well, yeah. If we need to take a little break, let's take it now because I think who knows what's going to happen once we get underground.
Mhm.
It is going to be a
Mhm.
long journey, so best not to rush and be careful. I'd rather arrive safely than very injured or one of you having suffered something calamitous.
Well, I just like sort of like sit down and kind of like pull my boots off and splash my feet a little bit in the tide pool. I'm like, this is like really nice. I didn't even know this was here. Like the only thing I've seen at this part of the world is, awful Weredile monster things. And I'm like, this sure is nice.
I'm playing with hermit crabs.
Sophius is cooking crabs. Is anybody hungry?
Not the ones I'm playing with, though. I'm keeping my
Not-
baby boys away from you.
Not all of them.
I stop and I make sure Click Clack's a long way off before, yeah, absolutely eat some crab. Well, hopefully she doesn't head back towards the crab traps. Yeah.
Okay. Does
Mhm.
anybody need to roll any hit die? We good?
I don't think I was hurt.
I was, but Avren managed to heal me, which Avren, so is this just what you do now? Were you not able to do this before?
Call it a personal choice. So no, I could, and then I couldn't, and then I could again because I'm angry. So yeah, I'm back to it. Don't get
Okay.
used to it.
Yeah, he probably could have helped and didn't, and then he gave some of his power away. That's true. And then he got some of it back now. Like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And then
Oh,
after Freely's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Very much looks at Avren like, yeah, no, I'm sure it's okay.
I'm so sorry. If you got some of your power back, does that mean you've lost one of your warlocks?
No.
Okay, that's good then. I thought that this was supposed to be a good thing, and I was worried for a moment that we were celebrating something that was actually bad.
No, I was trying to be a hero, and then I realized, you know what? Why? Why be a hero?
Yeah, that's the opposite of what you're supposed to take from all of this. Like all the stuff we've been through, all the good we've done. I mean, that's why I be a hero.
Well, you should also get paid for your good work.
I mean, what do we even need money for? Like, come on, like we got the ocean, we got like, everything we need is all around.
Eventually, we're going to need more of the weed that'll let you breathe underwater, and I do not believe that any of you are going to want to sing with that bard. So I would suggest saving up our what do you use up here for money? It looks like silver, gold, that kind of thing. We'll want to save that up.
I think they barter in both silver and additionally in steel.
That sounds very familiar. I wonder
You
where
just
I've heard
dropped the
that before.
title. You just dropped the title of the show.
And good night.
You did it. You
Everyone
did it,
has
really.
to.
Full Randy Orton.
I feel like at this point, this is when the title should come in and the credits and the director. Yeah, like, you know.
We should have Will re-roll the trailer right now.
Yeah, the camera pans from like the reflections of the water against the sea cave walls and like up to the moon. It just goes, you know, plays the intro song and the words silver and steel scroll across the screen.
I demand that Ice TV involves. It's like, are you trying to tell me this show has both silver and steel?
Yeah, Ice, you got it.
And then the theme song comes in. Boom.
Yep.
Are you telling me there are dungeons and also dragons? Yeah, Ice.
There are. Yep. Take that short rest and start moving.
Every rest that Ice T takes is a short rest. I've met him.
All
All right, I'm done.
We're
Let's
so
get on with the game.
distractible tonight.
God damn it.
Oh, jeez.
Sophia's is taking all the crab shells and the legs that she's eating and using sap and gum to make other legs, other longer legs. So if you look at her bag of holding, there's just mechanical legs twitching and writhing about. She's trying to shove them into her bag.
Okay.
Callie was at first excited because she was going to watch Sophia's cook, and then realizing that she's constructing instead of cooking, she will mask her disappointment by coming over to sit next to Freely, and she'll say, I did really enjoy this view when I first arrived. It was very pretty.
Oh, I mean, it's still pretty now, though, even though we're about to head back under, right?
Oh, absolutely, and I hope we are able to see it again.
Hey, what are you looking forward to most down there? What did you say your bet's name was?
Shove.
Shove. I'm looking forward to meeting Shove. Does Shove like tummy scritches?
I do not know. As I said, that was not something that I'd ever done before, although I knew some of my friends would do that. You could definitely try. You seem to have a way with animals that I have not yet been able to master.
If there's one thing I know is bats are nothing but dogs with wings, and all dogs love tummy scritches. So there you go. You have an air puppy tummy scritches.
You know, I'd never met any dogs until I came up onto the surface, and now that I have, you are absolutely right.
Really? Do you like tummy scratches?
You know, not from a villain.
I'm not hurt, not really.
Sophia's makes one of those long back scratchers out of the crab legs that she's making and reaches for Freely and gives him tummy scritches.
I just like look down at this and I lean over to Callie and I'm like, are we going to talk about this fixation with mechanical legs?
You can talk with me about it, but I know no more than you do.
What is the problem with mechanical legs? You never know, and you're going to need mechanical legs.
It's, you know, I realized you were caught flat-footed with chonkers. I get it, but you know, we don't. Maybe we should go before we all drown. Maybe we should just.
You do understand that Callie has mechanical legs, right? And you have a mechanical arm. How could you not be fascinated?
We did discuss the possibility of another mechanical arm. It's not a no. It's not a no, but it cannot be made out of sap and crab shells, though. Like,
You do have to work
Fair
with
enough.
whatever you have around, so I do understand that.
oh, right now I have another arm. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
All right, I will continue to lead everybody on to wherever I will also refresh the psychic link because it's been an hour, and yeah, we'll head out.
Yeah. So as you make your way through the shallows, you know, the cave gradually gets narrower and narrower and narrower. And soon you find yourself in a very dark and closed sort of like a narrow passageway that branches off in a number of different directions. As you proceed, the smell of salt water kind of slowly starts to give way to like a more damp, like muddy smell. There's stalactites hanging from the ceiling, and it smells salty and wet in here. Yes.
Every time we make a turn, I do pull my sword out and I just make like a little scritch in the wall. Like,
Okay.
you know, on the off chance we have to find our way back out of here quickly.
Mhm,
That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then keep going.
Callie, how do you navigate? Do you navigate using your natural senses? Do you try to recall the way you came out?
I think it's a little bit of both. There definitely was it. I think for her, probably these last couple of hours of her journey were probably with a little more excitement. So she may have gone a bit quicker because she could probably like smell the sea air and knew she was getting close. But yeah, it'd probably be a mixture of what she remembers, which was only a couple days ago, and just naturally what she thinks is going to get her back to deep underground.
Hmm. Okay. So go ahead and give me a. Let's see. Let's do an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. I'm pretty good at those. I rolled like crap though, so 14.
14. All right. And then go ahead and give me a survival roll.
Okay.
Might I assist in any way? Because even though I've never been here, I do have pretty good survival.
Yeah.
You can totally assist. I did just roll a natural 20 though.
Oh, you did.
Hey,
Very
it's
nice.
because I assisted. I'm like, I believe in you, Kelly.
The funny thing is, like, her intelligence is way better than her wisdom. So, like, she's trying to remember the way back, and she can't, or she's only remembering bits and pieces. But then having that moment of looking around, and I think her way up was just aimless wandering, trying to go up, and now she's trying to find a specific path down. But there's a mission that is for her father, and so
Yeah.
she's super focused. So
Yeah.
that's total of 22, but that's a natural 20.
And your natural 20 not only bodes well for the party, but also well for the audience. Because on this show, every single time myself or one of our players rolls a nat 20, somebody in the audience wins a legendary bundle from D&D Beyond. It's pretty exciting. So you are able to find your way pretty quickly, pretty easily. The water doesn't even really have a chance to rise. Just as it starts to splish splash, not even up to your ankles, Callie makes her way through the tunnels very quickly. Freely, you notice that you don't come upon any of your scratches, which means you're not going in circles, which is a good thing.
That's a good sign. That's part of the system, you see. We're multifaceted.
As you like continue to make marks in the stalactites, you're very relieved to see that although some of the passages and tunnels feel like they're rounding back on each other, they must be in unique directions because you're not seeing any signs of your passage.
I gotta ask, what does Freely's mark actually look like?
Yeah, what is Freely? Does you have a sigil, or do you just keep an X?
Oh,
or-
it's literally like a diagonal line because I'm small. So it's like as high as I can reach. It just ends up being like just saw it a couple times. That's it. Yeah.
Every once in a while, you get fancy and just make it into an arrow, like we went.
Yeah. Or like an F. You know what I mean? Like it's mine now. That stalactite's mine. Yeah.
So you make these marks and continue your way. Your going is very quiet. And you notice that as you pass, not even the bats stir, or any of the creatures in here. Everything seems to just mark your passing quietly as you make your way past unobtrusively. As you
Nice.
do so, you feel the ground start to slope more and more and more steep. And the water that is collected around your ankles slowly becomes more. It doesn't get higher, but the flow of it becomes faster as you're going down this sort of like decline. And you start to hear the faint sound of water crashing down as you make your way into essentially an open cavern. The passageway just suddenly gives way to like a very large open space. And you are met with the sound of rushing water as it slides off this, what seems to be like a almost perfect drop off down into what you can only surmise is some type of underground grotto. It is pitch black. If you look over the edge, you can't really see down there. You don't know how far down it goes. and you are met with this vision of a large chasm. The light from your lantern, or I should say, actually, you have a hooded lantern, but the light from Freely's sword glitters on the walls, and you're met with this stunning vision of pyrite that is green and red in places, and it sort of coats the walls and glitters almost in an ethereal fashion. And you can see on the far other end where you think the cavern continues. And as you gaze across the abyss, you do notice a very thin, rickety bridge that goes across.
I point at the green and red stones in my hair, and I'm like, oh, well, that's got to be good luck, right? Hey.
I did not realize that you had matched. This is nice.
I'm like, Prestidigitation, like a little like shower of sparks. Ah, yeah.
Do I remember this rickety bridge?
You do vaguely, yes.
Okay. Oh, we must be going in the right direction. And she'll just head for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time that she sees a thing that she remembers, and it's like, oh, okay, I have come this way.
Yeah,
We're on the right track. It's a little more of a confidence boost.
Mm-hmm. As you reach the bridge, you were reminded of how when you came across, a lot of the steps fell through. And now as you look back over the bridge, it occurs to you that getting back is going to be a lot more difficult than coming across was.
I'm going to look over at Avren and say, it's probably a good thing that you are not wearing your heavier armor right now. I do not know if that would be a good thing.
Yeah, you're probably right. How does it feel to be underground again?
It's a little sad that I had to do this so soon, but the need is great, and I can always go back. Hopefully we will figure out what's going on and I can go back. Are you okay?
What do you like the most? Well, whenever you look at Avren, it's not probably unlike, I mean, he's clearly semi-elven, but his eyes kind of glow like a cat's if the lantern light hits it. So it just kind of reflects a little bit back at you. What do you like the most about not being down here?
It was nice to be able to see a lot of the things that I'd read about. The ocean, the sun, real stars. And she'll kind of point at the twinkling above of all the pyrite and say, there are wonders like this down below, but you can always reach up and touch those. There's something very enchanting about being able to see that and not reach it.
Oh, you can reach them.
Well, I cannot currently at this moment, but I will take your word for it.
I might be able to help with the bridge. I'm pretty quick. I could just run across with a rope and then, tie it off where it'll make it easier for you guys to come over.
Sounds like a plan.
Can I make a further suggestion? And as you pull out the rope, she'll point to your waist and say, would you secure yourself? And that way, if something goes wrong, we do not lose you into this chasm.
I'm right with you. And I tie it around my waist. And I'm like, okay, you ready?
Who's taking the other end?
I'll take the other end.
I'm like, if you let me fall and die, I will haunt you, Avren.
No.
Expeditious retreat. Like, I really do like rocket across the bridge.
Yeah. Give me an acrobatics check.
Tying the other end to a stalactite as well, just in case I lose my grip.
That is a 21.
Okay. So you are able to basically very carefully make your way across the bridge. You sprint, and your footsteps are so light, the bridge barely creaks or sways as you make your way across. And the places where several steps are missing or have fallen through or rotted through, you jump up onto the rope railing and continue making your way across. And you make it to the other side completely safe.
When I do it cool.
The only way to do it.
I do try and look for another rock or stalactite to tie it off on, though, because if something terrible happens and the three of them fall, I won't be able to stop it. So I do try and secure it properly.
Give me a perception check.
I like where this is headed. That is whoops. That is 18.
18. So while you're looking for the stalactite, you also notice far off in a part of the chasm you can't really get to. As in it's not physically accessible from the ledge that your friends are on. You do notice two, almost like they catch the light, bars going across the chasm as well. They look like maybe they're wood from where you're at, but they're reinforced with some type of metal. And there's two of them in perfect parallel that go all the way across. But you also notice a nice thick stalactite. Stalagmite, I should say. Those are the
It
ones
is
that are on the
stalagmite.
ground. Yeah.
Here's how I remember that, kids. Stalagmites, mites crawl along the floor. Stalactite, you'd cling tight to the ceiling. That's
I've never heard of that, but that's kind of cool.
That's the only way I can keep it right, honestly. And
Really says this out loud.
Yeah, really. I'm like, that's the one to grow on. The little more you know, star flies by, you know. Roughly
Minor illusion.
minor illusion, the more you know.
There you go.
Roughly how far away is this these bars that you've described?
So from where you're at, they're probably about 200 meters.
I use the imperial system. I don't know nothing about no metric system.
I can help you with that. How many meters? I'm sorry. What would you say?
I don't use that Swerf-Nabelin measurement system. Via the psychic link, I pointed out, and I pressed to digitate a harmless effect, like a spray of sparks in that direction. I'm like, Callie, what is that over there? I see like bars. I describe what I see to the best of my ability. Like, all right, it's up there though.
How many meters did you say away it was? 200?
200. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's about 600 feet. Okay. Do I remember like a mine shaft, or do I remember what he's describing?
Give me a history check.
Okay. That's a 24.
So you recall that there is some type of transit system that was used here at some point, but it hasn't been in use for a very long time.
Okay. And
you're not quite sure how to get over there, but you are sure that there is some type of cart system that runs through the tunnels parallel to where you are.
Okay. But it wasn't something that I used to make my way to the surface.
No.
Okay. I'll relay all of that and say that is something that could be worth exploring once we are done, but it's not the place that we need to go. Also, when he was hop skipping and jumping across the rope or the I've just lost the words. When he's hop skipping and jumping across, could I have watched him to see like where were the weak spots in the bridge and try to gauge like, oh, that's a place that I don't remember being bad and we should watch out for this place, that kind of thing.
Well, there's two major large gaps in the bridge that you remember kind of running across very quickly, and the steps fell out from underneath you. Freely's roll was high enough that he didn't cause any further damage to the bridge. So other than a couple of minor creaks, you're not really tipped off as to where it's safe to step. But you do notice that like those jumps he made across those two chasms would be very difficult to do so otherwise.
Okay.
There's one spot where there's about 6 wooden slats missing, and there's another where there's about 4.
Well, we should definitely not cross all at once. Who would like to go next?
So Callie, Avren, and I are on the other side of that rickety bridge from Freely, right? DM, you can totally shut me down, but can I use my crossbow and put a long string of my mechanical legs into it and shoot across the bridge? And then we can all kind of hold on to it as we cross, just in case any boards.
I don't know how your
out.
leg would find purchase.
Well, I tied the rope. That's what the rope was for. That you guys could sort of like come across holding the rope.
Is that safe?
He did secure it to a stalagmite.
Okay.
It's not safe, Sofieus.
It's a
That's what I
backup
was a
in
little
case
worried
things-
about because it's holding on to a stalagmite right now. So
Mhm.
okay, we can try our luck with the rope.
Freely, did you find a chunky boy of a stalagmite?
The chunky ass stalactites. Give it a slap. This ain't going nowhere. Yeah.
Sophia's, he has found a chunky boy, so it should be okay.
Oh well, that is good. It is a chunky stalagmite, so we will try this. I will go first. I'm
All
gonna
right.
try to traverse my way across the bridge, holding on to this rope.
Okay. So go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
Do they get advantage or anything for having the rope?
We'll get to that in a second.
Oh, curses.
That would have been nice because I rolled a 3.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So don't worry, you don't fall to your death. As you're making your way across, you jump across the large chasm with 6, pieces missing. Your feet hit the edge of the last one. You almost reel back, but then you grab the rope and pull yourself up, and you manage to step across. However, the step that your feet land on when you reach the other side does break underneath your weight. You are able to get across, but it occurs to you it'll be more difficult for Callie and Avren to get across now.
Oh, good. I'm so sorry, Callie and Avren. Be very careful when you cross. There are steps missing now.
Absolutely. I'll look over at Avren.
This is crazy, which is why I would do it. I know there's some places where the boards are just completely gone, right?
Yep.
But are some of them just cracked and worn?
Mhm.
I would like to, from my side, start inching my way back out onto the broken bridge and hitting some of those with mending.
Okay. Yeah.
To the
Let's
best of my
see.
ability.
Perfect.
But also hold on to the rope myself this time. Yeah.
So let's see. Why don't you give me because you're going to be doing this very carefully and very safely, not with speed. So why don't you give me a perception check?
I was about to say, I'm doing it freely careful though. So
Mhm.
that's a 15.
A 15.
Yeah.
So you do manage to make your way very carefully halfway out onto the bridge. The steps creak and groan underneath your footsteps, and you are able to spot 2 boards that are almost rotted through.
Am I able to mend them?
You can get to one of them from where you're at. The other one might take you some effort. You'll have to leap across that spot where there's 4 slats missing.
I won't do that because that's contrary to our gold state here, but I will point it out to them that I'm all like, well,
Okay,
I
yeah.
got this one, but can't reach that one. And
So
then
you
I get
mend the one that's close to you on the far
Yeah.
side of that the one with the 4 gap.
I mend it and I get off the bridge before they start coming across.
Okay, perfect.
That's smart.
Yep.
That'll lower the difficulty level a little bit for the next person who goes across. Who goes across next?
I'm gonna walk across as if there is absolutely nothing happening. Like it is just a sidewalk in the city. That's the level of confidence I am going to walk across this.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that's what's going to happen.
Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
10.
Don't know if your confidence is going to save you in this situation.
ROUSs, I don't think they exist.
Yeah. So the step that freely points out to you, I don't know if it's your confidence or if you're trying to convince yourself that it can definitely bear your weight. You leap across the first big gap, you land on it, and it gives way. Crack! And immediately you fall through. But the rope catches you. And as it does, the step that is bracing like the rope starts to creak as well. But you are holding on to it. What do you do?
I'm going. How far down?
You look down. It is very dark. How far does what distance do you have dark vision to?
I believe it's 60 feet.
Yeah, you can't see. You can see
that's-
a faint glittering far beyond like where your vision ends.
Yeah, I'm not a giant fan of those odds. I'm going to try to climb back up
Okay.
onto the bridge.
Give me an athletics check. At this point, I'll let Freely and Sophia's help by pulling if you'd like.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask if we can do that.
Okay.
Avren, hold on
So-
to my hand.
Go ahead and roll with advantage.
Well, I got a 16 at first, so let's see what that.
Mhm.
Ooh, and then a glorious 5. So I'll go with the 16 if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to get all the way up and steady yourself. And you'll just have to make a second athletics check to get across the second chasm, but Freely has mended the board on the other side, so you'll get advantage on that.
Oh, totally fine. Kelly,
Yes.
clearly this bridge is not as made as well as you.
Not everything can be.
That's a 9.
So as you leap to the other side, Freely's board does hold you, but it cracks underneath your weight. You do manage to get across, and you are now on the other side of the chasm safely. Callie, as you look across this bridge, you realize that Avren's passing has utterly decimated it. And distances that were previously traversable now seem very difficult. You begin to wonder if your Warforged legs will be able to help you leap such a long distance across.
Oh.
It's literally why we can't have nice things, Avren. Like literally.
What? It's substandard wood. I mean, I think it's made out of wood, or is it made out of mushroom? I don't know how they do things down here.
It's,
Why
He
would
says
it be made out
covered
of
in
mushrooms?
splintered and
That would
splinters.
that would be squishy, and that would be contrary to what a bridge should be.
Well, I would be bleeding a lot less, and it would be quieter. There are all kinds of reasons to make a mushroom bridge. I will not list them all right now.
I mean, you can if you want to. I'd be very interested in your.
Then I'm glad you asked, since you're
I
on the
just-
other side of this chasm. First off, more eco-friendly. Thirdly,
I just start
skip number 2.
prestidigitating. I just start prestidigitating the splinters out of him.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, I hope it hurts though.
Do I think that this means I'm gonna have to do strength instead of dexterity to get across? To be blunt.
Yeah.
Aw.
It feels like this would be a Herculean task to leap this distance, since 2 of the boards were broken.
Okay. Because Callie has an amazing acrobatics, which is why she was willing to hang back, because she thought she could.
Yeah.
And she's pretty light herself, but she has no strength. But the rope is still going across, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it's tied on both ends by these stalagmites?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How strong is the rope?
Whose rope is this? This is Freely's rope. So it's pretty good. It's well-made halfling rope.
Okay. I would like to tightrope walk across the rope and just ignore the bridge altogether.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
I just realized I said that Avren caught the rope. So what we're gonna say is that Sofieus sent that end that Avren had back over with a crossbow bolt, and you
Oh,
secure
okay.
it
All right.
to the stalagmite. Yeah.
I guess I was picturing it differently, but okay, that works. Yeah, she'll tie it back off. She will jump on top of it, balance at the ready. I'm looking to see, do I have anything? Actually,
I
before
believe
she-
in you. Bardic inspiration for a D6.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Yeah.
Before she does this, can I take a really quick look around? Do I see like a very large branch or a stick, something that I could use as a balance weight?
Let's see. You're underground. So there's not really anything here that kind of fits that would
That's
be growing here. Yeah.
All right. She'll jump on. She'll take her bardic inspiration, and I would like to tightrope walk across the rope.
Except a stalactite. If you can break one off, if it's like narrow
It'd be
enough.
very heavy. Yeah.
Oh,
what
Sophia's, that is an excellent idea, but if I was strong enough to break one of those, I'd be strong enough to leap over all of this.
Sophius, do you
Okay,
still have a
never
crab
mind.
claw? Sophius, do you still have a crab claw?
I have many crab claws, yes.
I mean, could you not fashion something out of the crab claw to assist her?
Can I have one of your very long claws attached to claws attached to claws to make a counterbalance?
I don't
Can you,
know,
like
DM.
javelin it across?
DM, can I?
Yes, you just have to figure out how to get it across.
I'm gonna try and wrap it or use sap to stick the chain of legs to an arrow,
Okay.
and then use my bow and very gently shoot my bow towards Callie, cautioning her to watch out for the arrowhead, but please do catch it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I'll monk this up. Sure. Let's do this.
So go ahead and I'll need. Yeah, let's get a dex. Let's get a dex roll from both of you.
Okay. Just like a dex check or a saving throw or.
Freely's gonna turn his back. I literally cannot bear to watch this.
Sophia's
got a
is trying not to
15.
kill this one. Remember what happened last time?
That was an accident. She was not looking at me.
They're
I
all
rolled-
accidents.
I rolled a 15.
Okay.
That is my armor class, if that helps. Do you want a saving throw or just a check for dexterity?
Just a check.
Okay.
Actually, let's do. Yeah, we could. No, not sleight of hand. No, let's try sleight of hand to see if you catch it.
Okay. That's even better. That would be a 19.
Perfect. So the arrow goes soaring across the chasm. You manage to catch it. It goes a little bit off course, just a little bit, but you rolled high enough that you grab it.
Excellent.
And you remove the crab claw from it. And yeah, it's light, so you're not sure how effective it'll be as a counterweight. But you realize it occurs to you it'll probably give you +1 to your roll.
I will take it, and I'll detach the. Well, no. Do you want the arrow back?
Oh, no, I've got plenty more where that came from. You can keep it if it helps you balance.
Okay, thank you. She'll stash the arrow, and she'll use the crab claw, and she'll jump on top of the rope, and yeah, let's tightrope across.
Okay.
What would you like?
So go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
Okay.
I was hoping for a crab zipline.
And you do have a inspiration die as well, or bardic inspiration.
All right. Is that, you said it was a D6?
Yep.
Okay.
Also, I look at Avren while all this is happening, and I'm like, this is weirder than that hot dog cannon in Hooperduke. Like, what even is happening here?
Wait, what? There was a hot dog cannon?
Yeah,
Even,
you
did
know,
you have something to do with this hot dog cannon? I know how much you love hot dogs.
Wait, tell me more about the hot dog cannon.
yeah, you'd have known if, like, you know, you ever got your hands dirty. But no, this is one of those times you just sent us off to do your dirty work. That's cool. Fight, come, Callie. No, I believe in you, Callie. I believe you're good.
Every time
Good,
I make
Callie.
eye contact with you, my eyes get dirty. Does that help? Really? You make me
eyes
feel dirty inside my eyeballs. You, Freely. You dirty my soul.
That's it being helped. That's you growing as a person, Avren. That's growth, Avren. Callie,
That's
don't die.
It's a growth. Yeah. No. Callie, don't die. I believe in you.
You know when you're doing something very dangerous or difficult or taxing and you use distraction to help keep yourself from being nervous? I imagine that's what's happening now as Callie deftly balances across this tightrope like she's over Niagara Falls, because I rolled a 29. So what I like to think is if I make it without a problem, she definitely lands, and when Avren and Freeler are turning to ask me not to die, I've already landed, and I say, so what exactly is a hot dog?
It's great. So you take a little bit of intestine and, oh, you're here. That's awesome. Oh, fantastic. I don't have to bring you back from the dead. So you take a little bit of intestine, then you fill it up with even more meat, and then you cook it, and it's amazing.
It is the pinnacle of surface world culture and cuisine. It is true.
They taste like garbage without a bun, though. It's just gross. You're just a garbage human being. If you eat a hot dog without a bun, you need the bun and the hot dog. So you need bread and a hot dog.
Wait,
Then
so
it's-
if you eat the hot dog, do you then become a hot dog?
That is a very magical piece of meat, I must say.
Yeah, it is a bit of an intestine inside of an intestine scenario that occurs, but let's best not to think about it.
I'm actually going to leave my rope in place again on the off chance we have to come back through here quickly.
Okay.
We may not have time to secure it. So, yeah.
That makes sense.
I hand the crab counterbalance back to Sofieus and say, thank you, this was incredibly helpful. Actually, I didn't even add that +1. That would technically be a 30. I just
Oh,
realized.
God.
Yeah,
I rolled
you
it-
make this look easy.
I got a 24 +5 for the inspiration +1. So yeah.
I am
Thank you.
actively not showing any sign of being impressed. Whatever.
Callie, where did you learn how
Show
to walk on a tightrope?
I never have, but I have very good balance, and so I just did my best. I read a book about a gentleman who had to walk along falls that were in a place called Niagara, and so I just emulated that as much as possible.
Oh, Niagara. Yes, I've heard of it before.
That
I
sounds
don't
made
think
up.
I don't even think you needed this crab leg. You're natural.
Well, thank you, but I would never want to assume anything. It is always possible for things to go wrong. So thank you very much.
You know, the best hot dog I ever had is a little bit shrieker. Yeah, a little bit shrieker in there. And then the rest was gibbering mouth or lips. It's delicious. It
Is
haunts
it-
me.
Is it strange to eat something that is going to yell back at you?
Well, that's my cue to exit, and I turn and start walking down the
Avren just
hallway.
sort of grins like, I don't know. Should it be?
I do not know. I've not partaked myself. So I'm counting
I mean-
on your descriptions in order to be able to vicariously enjoy this hot dog through you.
Well, just about everything screams before you eat it.
Oh, Sophia's lovely pastries do not.
Eh, depends on which one. They're not all entirely made of bread. Plus, we don't know. I mean, if you awakened wheat and then you baked it, then that's murder.
That does seem unnecessarily cruel. Sophia's, are you awakening any of the food before you eat it?
Definitely not. Nope. Never.
Yeah, trust me, Sophia, you're gonna want to be kind to trees. And then I keep walking down the hallway.
Especially since there are not many down here, and I will continue and skip along back to my point position.
But mostly trees don't taste good, so it's okay.
Have you ever tried to eat bark?
Yes. I boiled it once.
And not
Good for
good?
pain. Maple syrup is nice.
Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
interesting. Yeah, he's not wrong. Like tree blood. I could go for some tree blood right about now.
Are you a
Well,
tree
I was
vampire?
once made out of tree, and then I was turned into a picture frame, and then somebody carved into the frame. So I do sort of know what it feels like.
What? You've already been the tree? Like, I thought that was like some big reveal that it's like, oh, Sophia, you're gonna be a tree. Because like when I saw you when you were a tree, it was like a long time from now, or at least I thought it was a long time from now. Now I actually have more questions.
Freely, it's best
Well,
not to be concerned about the
maybe-
timey-wimey stuff.
Really, maybe where you are from, time is linear.
I've been told time is a flat circle.
That
I
is correct,
look
Callie.
I look down and I say, I think there's some cave gas that is messing with me right now. Like, Callie, you don't have to breathe. Is there like
For me, time is a battlefield.
no, love is a battlefield. That's a completely different saying. You know,
No one's ever said that. It's time is battlefield. I know the song.
battlefields aren't flat circles, and Callie is right. Time, just you guys stop. And I turn and keep walking.
Callie, how's your dad?
Time is a Battlefield by Rash Benatar. I've heard this song before.
Yes, rat.
As you argue about whether or not time is a battlefield or a flat circle.
All in the psychic link. All in the
All in
psychic,
the psychic link. Yeah. You quietly continue your path forward. The pyrite is still present in the cave walls around you here, but you notice the cavern here is a lot wider. You have a lot more space to maneuver, and the smell here kind of changes a little bit. It smells almost a little acidic, and you've also noticed that some flora has started to pop up. There's bits of moss, bits of mushroom, and the rock starts to give way to even soil in some places. And you notice that the flooding from the cave has like left, or the flooding from the cave in places you notice like has created some subterranean rivers that go through other channels that you didn't follow, and all kind of fall off the edges of different sheer drops into that same crevasse. And as you walk in here, give me a stealth check, Callie, since you're in the front. And remember, you do have Blessing of the Trickster, so you have advantage, as well as a +10 because of your pass without trace.
You have all the stealth on the planet.
Yeah, basically.
I still have to roll well, and then I'm gonna use that.
Lauren, don't mess this up.
It's a dirty 20. I did not
Dirty
roll
20.
incredibly well.
So you lead the party through very quietly.
Actually, I'm
Um,
sorry. That would be a 30. I didn't add the plus 10. I rolled a dirty 20 with everything, then the plus 10. Sorry.
You're fine. So you're like a shadow. You're able to get through this area almost without even leaving any kind of footsteps behind.
I'd
You
like to
lead the party.
imagine I'm doing this super stealthy, but we are still having this inane conversation in our head about hot dogs and time and
Mhm.
and it's
Freely's
just-
Freely's absolutely
Rat
doing
Avatar.
the Fred Flintstone like on the toes walk.
Yeah.
we are all incredibly stealthy, but if you could hear in our heads, it's just a constant litany of, well, I've heard those songs before, but it's very rare for us to be able to get new songs down. So I would love to hear about this.
I'm like, excuse me, who's the bard here? Me. I'm the one that knows about music. Trust me, that is not a thing.
Oh my God, Freely, what are you not? You're a paladin. You're a bard. You're a warlock. You're a sorcerer. You're a fighter.
I'm not a
pointing me
bad
in the
guy.
You're a stalagmite.
Meanwhile, outside in the real world, we're like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Very quiet. And the moss only dampens the sound of your footfalls even more.
I'm trying to moonwalk backwards while talking to Freely psychically and
Mhm.
insulting him. Not
Yeah.
insulting him, just having a conversation and interject more hot dog recipes.
Callie,
mean,
you're going to walk away from this with a lot of hot dog recipes.
she is so excited. This is the best day ever. It's assuming her dad's okay. It's best day ever.
Like
There
if
is-
crawling claws are already dead, and I know that's gross. They're undead. But you mix that with a little bit of owlbear, and oh my God.
Are all hot dogs mixtures of multiple meats? Can they all not to be the same meat?
No, but it's way more fun when you do mix it. Like you don't want to just eat straight crawling claw. That's disgusting.
But it makes it not disgusting if you mix it with owlbear specifically or any
That
other
makes
meat.
it balances it out. It balances it out. Yeah.
And
It tastes a little gamey if you have owlbear, but usually when you make a hot dog, it is just based on whatever is available. So typically it is whatever animal you have.
The
But
key
if you're
is that you
making a
find the
hot
one
dog-
that's the cutest, and
Hold
then
on a
that's the
second.
one.
If you're making a hot dog out of-
no,
if you're making a
Avren,
hot
don't scare
dog-
her.
Out of owlbear, is it not already both owl and bear? Is it not already a blend?
Oh wow.
Oh,
Think about it. I blew your minds.
Maybe that's why it tastes so good, because it's a triple blend. So if you take a chimera, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to kill an owlbear, and then I'm going to kill a chimera, and then I'm going to make that into a hot dog, and that's going to taste delicious.
Now, someone has told me about this gaminess. I know the technical definition of gamey. Why is gamey bad?
gamey is bad because the meat is typically very lean,
And that is bad.
and that is bad. You
And it-
want your meat to have a little bit of fat in it.
And it doesn't get refrigerated right away, you know?
Oh, thus her bag of colding.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Freeze your meat. Right, Freely?
Jasmine,
Freely's looking around for something to shoot. Just in the middle of our like stealth mission, just be like, real pa-choom, 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 pa-choom.
I would like to apologize at this point for taking a character that lets us talk psychically.
Just-
Except
No,
I'm not
I
really
love
gonna
it.
apologize.
Where else are you going to have a debate about whether owlbear is gamey and whether or not it counts as a blended meat or not, a meat mixture, or
Mm-hmm.
like that's a valuable conversation to have.
It's true.
Right, because
Yeah.
it's one entity, an owlbear, so
Mhm.
it eats the same thing, but I don't know what type of things it likes to eat. Does it eat like a bear or does it eat like an owl? Like
throw
what
things up?
cravings take over?
It eats
At 2
halflings. I know
a.m..
that. That's true. Yeah, that's not.
That checks
No,
out, yeah.
As you
definitely gamey.
as you have
Kelly,
this conversation, yes, no, continue.
Yes, Avren. Your moonwalking is fantastic, by the way.
thank you, I appreciate it. And it's strange doing it, where there isn't one. But regardless, what kind of, not that I'm wondering, what type of meats are down here? Like fleshy things.
You do not eat her sky puppy.
I'm not, I would never, listen, I love bats, despite the name. I love bats, like not in a healthy way. So very excited about giant bat. Not going to eat the bat, but what's not a bat out here?
To be honest, most of what my family eats are vegetables, the things that we can grow and harvest from around, because there's not much in the way that isn't dangerous in order to hunt. So it's much easier to live off of a diet of vegetables and fruits.
Okay, I'm bored. Let's go save your dad.
You do realize that
hold
Chove
on,
is
what's
a
kind
fruit
of-
bat.
What kind of things down here would be dangerous to eat?
Pretty much everything.
Sophia's is gonna dig around in her bag of holding, like a really big purse that you lost something in, and she pulls out a purple worm. So a long time ago, I picked up one of these things, and it's still sort of alive. Have you ever seen one of these down here?
Not myself, no, but I have heard tales of such a thing.
And she's just gonna place it on the ground and see if it likes its new environment.
Oh, it's alive.
Hasn't it suffocated like long
It's
since?
half alive. It's half alive. I
So-
felt
Its
kind of
tail
bad
gives
for
like
it
a
because it's been in the
weak
bag a long
wriggle.
time.
It's like, so weak it like gives like a weak wriggle. Like when
I hit it with spare the dying. I'm like, no, hold on, little guy. Hold on.
Oh, jeez.
Honey, sweetie,
Yes.
remember that time we encountered the bit when they get big, like really big, and they make big poops. Mainly gems, though. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's keep it. What are we naming the worm?
Ooh.
Wormy? Wriggles a lot?
Hmm.
Sir Wriggles a lot? I like
I
that.
was thinking Barney.
I
Barney
like
the
Sir
purple worm?
Wriggles a lot. But you're gonna win this fight. I know.
It's not my worm, so it's all on you. Yeah.
If you had a worm, Freely, what would you name it?
Well, there was the legendary worm hero Slimy from a place called Saame Street Eat.
How many apostrophes are in that word?
I don't mean to quote somebody I
whoa.
know that I find distasteful, but that sounds made up.
Wait, so we got Slimy, Avren, what would you name it?
Sir Wriggles a lot.
Sir Wriggles a lot. And Callie, what
Ri-
would you name it?
Wriggles a lot.
Your worm?
Yeah.
I'd probably name it. She'll say something in Deep Gnome, and then she'll translate it and say, I guess the closest thing to that would be Ted.
So we shall name it Barney, Slimy, Sir Wiggles a lot, Ted.
It's a very extensive name.
I'm gonna have to make an acronym.
Or
No, it's a long name for a long creature.
Biswalot. Biswalot.
It
That's
has
Swallow.
occurred to me that we are the worst adventuring party of all time.
We are a what? I'm sorry?
I'm
Sir
making a
Bis-
perception check.
Yeah.
Sir
Well, actually,
Sir
what's
Biswalot.
passive perception.
Yeah, because I'm feared. My passive, sadly, perception is only 13.
Okay. Who's the
Wait.
next highest?
I have a 15.
A 15?
The big old 10 for Freely. He's a halfling of action, not observation.
So you follow the worm along to see how its health is doing. And it seems to be barely making it, but Freely did cast Spare the Dying. So it's not actively dying, even though it wriggles a couple of inches and then passes out from exhaustion and just the rigors it's been smashed up against in the bag of holding. It looks pretty sad and pathetic. And as you're walking along, you do notice like a small scuffling, sniffing sound.
Not coming from the worm.
Not coming from the worm,
Oh.
but getting louder.
Can I make a full-on perception check?
Yeah, for sure.
Can I also make a perception check?
Freely is successfully disbelieved with a big old 8. Like I'm just like
Wow.
watching the worm.
That's
the ground.
cool. I'm just staring at the 9.
Okay,
I got a dirty 21.
a dirty 21. So you see it first. Eyes, like kind of glowing in the dark, small, and snuffling and scuffling along pretty rapidly.
There's a tiny creature. But this,
I'm immediately feeling for my presence with Daisy.
Mhm.
I swear to God.
well, it seems to be scurrying, and it's definitely the same stature as Daisy. Daisy, is that you?
As you say this, right from the edge of the light of Freely's blue glow, you see a tiny mole pop up. And it immediately grabs the worm and starts munching on it.
No!
Sir Biswalat, no! You let go of my worm.
The mole looks very excited. And when you shout at it, "Let go of my worm," it drops it and then retreats back into the dark
She's
and
gonna
looks
scoop
back
up
at
the
you.
worm.
The two eyes again.
As
She's
I've
gonna
said,
scoop up the worm and say, "How could you?"
It's the
How
joy
is-
spare the
how is-
dying, though.
how-
If it's
how-
not-
how is
still
the
alive,
worm?
it'll be okay.
The worm is missing a few chunks and pieces, but is still alive, although unconscious.
Oh, no.
Worm rounds are delicious, as many a game has told me. But he's gonna be okay. He's going to be fine. I can't believe I'm doing this.
welcome
Hey,
to
little
cleric
worm,
life.
You're totally fine. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
You're a
And,
good boy, Sir Biswalat.
I scratch. It's all belly. I mean, it doesn't matter where. I assume. Cure wounds.
Okay.
1d8 plus 3.
It
One of you's like in
stabilizes.
this. 9.
Yeah, it stabilizes with 9 hit points of damage healed, and looks a lot better than it did before, albeit traumatized. You notice it no longer wants to leave your side and kind of like wraps up around you, like cautiously. And you hear the snuffling start to like fade and grow quieter as like the little mole realizes its meal is now out of its grasp.
I like to think it's like around my neck a little bit, like a I don't know, like what?
Like a scarf?
Yeah,
Like a scarf, like a worm scarf.
like a
Yeah.
worm scarf. I'm just like, good boy, good Sir Wigslot.
I did not realize that you had brought a pet. You're going to want to keep them incredibly close. We are heading into very dangerous territory. I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that everything down here will try to kill you.
Okay, yeah, I'm used to that. That's pretty much my 9 to 5. So, and also, Sophia's and Freely's. Everything wants to kill us. We don't know why. We're so friendly.
It
I
is.
just want to cook for everyone.
It is our common
Everyone.
experience. Yes. Hmm.
The scuffling gets quieter and quieter as it gets further and further away.
You don't think it's going back to its mole army, do you?
Can I
Most
have a mole
likely, yes.
army? Yes.
I don't know how things work down here. Are there mole people?
Jasmine, are there mole people?
Give me like give me let's see, I guess like a nature check.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not. 17.
You know definitively there are no mole people, but you do know there are moles and people who live among moles, but you don't know if there are mole people, aka anthropomorphic moles.
Yes.
Well, I suppose if they cohabitat long enough, it could happen.
Yeah, let's
No,
not get
she's
into
too
that.
serious. She's too... No, Callie was considering lying in this moment and playing a joke, but she's actually kind of nervous about everything. And so she will tell the truth and say, there are not any kind of mole people, any kind of sentient mole people that I know of, or mole collectives, but there are just a lot of moles.
Right. Okay, then I'm not too worried about the mole then. I mean, I feel worried. But I'm not. So I'm not
Caution
worried.
is advisable while we are in the Underdark.
Okay. Stealth on.
As you walk forward, Freely, you notice it first. Or actually, no, it'd be Callie, 'cause she has the highest passive perception. The direction that the mole scuffled off in, you do see a faint reflection of light from off in your right.
As if two eyes are peering back at us again, or is this
No,
something else?
It's more. It's a larger light. It actually illuminates parts of the area around you.
Okay.
There's like a sort of a rocky floor around you, and like I said, things here down here are a lot mossier.
Hold on just a moment. I see something peculiar up ahead. And I'll use the light that's up ahead to guide me, and I'll shut the lantern that I have so it's not giving off any light and continue forward.
Okay. So as you do, You notice that the light kind of moves back and forth and flickers. And as you get closer and closer and closer, you see the small, hunched over figure of a gnome.
Good feelings gone.
Wait, what's gone?
What's going?
Good feelings gone. Remember? Hi, I feel happy. That's new
Oh.
for me. Good feelings
Okay.
gone.
And it's gone.
An above ground gnome or a deep gnome?
It looks like from where you're at, an above ground gnome.
Okay.
And you
in
notice the light is coming from a candle that's like dripping wax onto like a little thing that's right on his head.
And what does it look like this person is doing?
He's hunched over and clapping his hands. And
Okay,
he
so
moves a couple steps.
he is not being stealthy.
Then he moves a couple more steps.
He's trying to turn on the lights and he can't get them to work.
Do we all see this? Or is it
Oh,
just
Callie
Callie?
moved ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll in the psychic link relay what I see, and then I will call out in Gnomish. Hello, friend. Is there something that we can help you with?
He turns around, and you notice he's wearing big goggles that make his eyes look much larger than they are, almost like Coke bottle glasses. And he's wearing yellow overalls that he has hiked up way higher than they need to be. And he has wispy turquoise hair. And he says, "Hello."
Hello.
Back to you in Gnomish. "Hi."
And Callie will.
"Oh, are you hunting too?" And he talks very loud.
No, we are traveling. We are heading in a specific
"Flail
direction.
snails.
Oh God, this is the thing.
This is good flail snail territory."
Does Callie know what a flail snail is?
No.
Give
Lauren
me a
knows,
nature
but
check.
okay. Lauren is so excited. Come on, Callie. Okay, all right, that's a
snail.
17.
Yeah, you do know what flail snails are, and you know that gnomes love collecting their shells.
Oh, did I see any flail snails on the way up?
No, you didn't. But you notice that now it occurs to you maybe he's trying to lure them out with his clapping.
Okay.
And with your 17 in nature check, you know that that does not work.
Do I know what works?
You realize there's no way to call a flail snail, but the best thing to do is to track them because they do have a tendency to devour almost everything along their path, leaving behind these very strange glassy trails behind them, like a very interesting kind of snail residue.
Have the three of you moved up at this point?
Yeah, I'm totally right next to you watching this complete mess.
I will look at Freely and I will say, I do not believe the clapping is going to help, but you seem to be very good at talking with animals.
Clapping doesn't help?
No, I'm sorry, my friend. That is not something that
Oh, unfortunate. I've been had. I was told that clapping would definitely help.
No, clapping will probably just scare them away. You can track them. They do leave glass wherever they go.
How about this?
Oh,
and I
well then
clap.
I guess
Oh, sorry.
go for it.
I use thaumaturgy and I just do a sonic boom with my hands.
And you watch
right next to his ears.
And once again, Callie dives to the ground, and in the psychic link, she will say, I thought we had talked about this while we are underground.
I'd like the record to show I had that exact idea and did not do it.
You notice that normally this makes people flinch, but for him, he barely registers it.
No, he's got
You're a
nothing.
good clapper.
Thanks. Oh God. Okay. Hey, Candlehead. So why are you looking for flail snails exactly?
Why wouldn't you look for snails, flails? I bet you she wants snail flails. Flail snails. And he points at Callie.
What
She
are
knows
you
what's good.
implying? Why would she want a flail snail?
Why wouldn't you want a flail snail? The meat's good, the shell's good, the glass is good.
These are
Wait,
all
how
true.
does a snail flail? Why are they called flail snails?
Well, we gotta catch one, and then you'll know. My moles are on it.
Oh, we met one of your
They're
moles.
tracking moles. I have a mole train. And he points to a very large, like, sled that has, like, what is now empty. What is it called? Those things that you keep, like, it's basically like a dog sled with many different places to hook up smaller creatures that are about corgi size that you imagine must be moles.
Excuse me.
It's a mole train.
Does the mole train have a dance line? Moles all over the world. The mole train.
They'll make your mole glow.
But like, then they get like wet when
Well,
they.
I did see their eyes
Let
a
your-
ways back.
Yeah, I lost 2 of them.
All right.
But tell you what, if you help me find them, I'll give you some of the flail snail if I find one. I'm sure I'll do it.
When he
My
says
name's Blink.
when he says his 2 moles are lost, I look at Callie and I'm like, I realize your dad's in trouble and that we still have several days to travel, but this guy's got like his moles are missing, and if we can help him, we gotta help him find his lost moles.
Maybe.
Are you in a hurry? Maybe I could give you a ride. But you
And
gotta bring back Lizbeth and Larry.
he'll point, like he's still listening. She's still listening to Freely. She'll point at the gnome and then point back at Freely and say, "I discovered on the way up that helping others that I came across usually gave me great benefits. It's one of the reasons I was able to go up as far as I was, as quickly as I was. So I would not turn down any assistance that we can get. If we can help him get his moles and he can get us somewhere safely, I would appreciate it."
I
Well, their names
didn't
are
understand.
Lizbeth and Larry.
didn't understand anything you just said. Not
I
a
got-
word.
I got an 18 to try and track these moles.
Mole tracker.
You can notice he continues clapping. So with you got a 19?
18, but yeah.
18.
Mhm.
The floor is riddled with all types of scratchety mole marks.
For a second, I thought you were going to say the floor is moles. The floor is just moles. It's all
The
moles.
floor is hot
It's
moles.
moles all the way down.
And you realize that this man's sled is pulled by not 1, not 2, but 12 moles.
Gross.
Where'd you last see Lizbeth and Larry?
Well, they were on the trail for something good, and they went about that way. And he points off to your right.
I look at the purple worm and I'm like, I need your help with something, buddy, and you're not gonna like it though.
Do not.
Freely, are you trying to address Sir Biswalat?
I'm speaking to him with respect, and I like. Are there any? I know there's not a lot of like trees or things here. I extend my sword, but I just like wrap like some cloth around it, and I just scoop the worm up where I could use him like bait.
No.
It's-
Not even. I back up from you. You are not touching my worm. You're
It's
leaving
no,
my
I have
purple
no
worm alone.
interest in touching your purple worm, buddy. But I do mage hand it off his shoulder.
No. Oh, slap. I slap your mage hand.
I'm going to sidle up, as they have a slap fight, I'm going to sidle up to Sofieus and say, I understand that you do not want to put your pet in danger. Moles usually hunt by smell. Can you replicate the smell of your purple worm in a harmless effect?
Lizbeth does love
Oh, I can.
Probably dead.
But first, Avren, have you noticed Sir Biswalat flailing at all? Please say no.
a
No.
flail snail? Did you say flail?
All right.
I did not. I did not.
How viscous is the purple worm?
Well, I do have a question. Sorry.
Mhm.
Prestidigitation. I can create smells. Can I simulate the smell of the worm?
Yeah, you could attempt to do so.
Yeah.
Why he's doing that though?
I
I'm going to
simulated
rub him
right
with the
on-
worm.
Right on Avren's backside. Like if they smell it, I want the moles to just come bite right there. I'm like, there you go.
Don't
We got our
touch the
bait
worm.
now.
Don't touch the worm. Here, let me rub it
Nope,
all over
I'm
you.
rubbing the worm on Freely, and I'm squeezing it
And-
like a
and-
toothpaste tube. I'm just getting whatever end I can get out of.
I'm
Just-
still standing next to
it's-
Sophia's, and I lean over to her and I say,
you know, like when
I-
when you're making a really ornate cake.
I
Ah.
don't resist at all. I get it all over me. And the moment he's done, I'm like, prestidigitation. But
You
yes,
you can't use that spell on memories.
he smells like purple worm now.
Mhm. As you prestidigitate like the purple worm smell as best as you can approximate it onto Avren's derriere. Sure enough, you see a scuffling, or you hear a scuffling, and then you see it snuffling. And the mole, which now you realize is a very large mole, one of them comes bounding out, and before it can latch onto Avren's behind, Blink grabs it and says, "There you are, Reggie, into your station." And he starts carrying it. You notice
Hey,
he's
Reggie.
very strong for an old man,
Mm-hmm.
leading it over and putting it in the harness. That's one.
Thank you for your service, Reggie.
But without Lizbeth and Larry, the other ones aren't going to come here. So you got to, they're the leaders of the pack. Lizbeth has a scratch on her nose, and Larry, he's got a big old arrowhead stuck right in his head.
Oh.
Yeah. Somebody tried to eat him. Who does that? Who eats mole?
So,
I don't know who squeezes someone's companion out like their purple toothpaste.
That was pretty
Avren?
rude. I'm not gonna lie.
Monsters.
Sophius, can you make a stronger version of the smell, like something more potent, being that you're an alchemist?
Yes,
he pulls
of
out
course
like
I
a-
can,
a
but I am mourning the
bronze
loss of
horn.
my companion.
No, he's not
Pulls out a
dead.
brass
The
horn
worm's
and
not dead.
shoves it in his ear.
Br-
You talk very quietly.
We're gonna get them back for you, sir. We're gonna find them. We're gonna get Lizbeth and Larry.
Yeah, Sophius, the worm's not dead. I just squeezed the poop out of it. So can you make like a really heightened version? You know, like perfume, only like stronger with like a fixidant.
You want me to do that to the
Purple
Sir
worm smell.
Biswalot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
or to
I'm gonna
any of the
use my magical tinkering and emit an odor of a flail snail, or at least a worm.
Or of a worm? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It hits all your nostrils. It's very strong. The earthy, kind of mucusy smell of Sir Biswalot now fills the area around you. And you hear scuffling and fruffling. But nothing gets a little bit closer, if that makes sense. Like you just hear the cave around you kind of erupt in general motion, if that makes sense.
I start walking in the direction that he said they went that way, and I just like every like 10 feet or so, I just summon the prestidigitation and put like the scent like in midair, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So if they like have to come out of the ground to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You do see like the cave around you light up with little eyes here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of moles kind of move forward cautiously and confused because you do not look worm-like to them.
Hello, friends, and I'd like keep casting it in a trail like towards the cart, you know, like yeah, to like lure them back towards the gnome.
Yeah, you see a bunch of moles, probably about 4, start to like kerfuffle forward and try to follow the trail, confused because the smell is so strong, but yet there is no worm to be found.
As all this is happening, Callie has taken up a defensive sentry position because all of a sudden there's a lot of noise and a lot of smells, and she's getting slightly nervous. And so I want to keep my eyes out for things that are not moles coming out of the ground at us.
Yeah.
I actually have a lot more worms in my bag of holding, and I'm just gonna reach into because I'm a hoarder. And I'm just gonna reach in and throw them on the ground and back up and tell everyone to back up.
Mm-hmm.
Are they just like regular worms, or are they more purple worms?
They're just regular worms from the creek that we were in a long time ago.
Like 3 days ago. Yeah. It feels like it was so many weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, she does that and I'm on heightened alert.
And so you start dropping these worms along, and as you do, let's see.
Super mole rule.
Oh wow, I rolled a nat 20 on that.
Hey, someone wins.
Good job.
Someone's a big winner.
Someone wins a legendary bundle for D&D Beyond.
Was this for a
Fantastic.
mole?
Flail snail dinner.
This was actually for Blank. He rushes forward as one of the moles grabs a worm, and he grabs it and he goes, "That's 2 down." And you notice him like running around trying to grab these moles and wrangle them together. "Any sign of Lizbeth?" he calls to you freely.
Is there?
Those. Give me a perception check.
16.
You do see right at the edge of the glow of your sword a little heart-shaped nose and a very curious, ponderous little face with a scratch right down the middle, a big gash, almost splitting her little nose in two, like a broken heart.
I turn and I hit that guy with message and I say, "You say they'll do whatever Lisbeth does, right?"
Yup.
All right, hang on.
Lisbeth is the alpha. Larry's the other alpha. There's 2 alphas. When it comes to mole trains, you need alphas on either line.
Well, yeah, because you 2 of them got to come down the mole train line. No, I get it. Yeah. Animal friendship.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, you big old girl. Yeah. She's wisdom 14 to try and not be my friend.
She rolled a 2.
Yeah, I have that effect on moles.
Yeah, she scuttles forward, and you notice she is an alpha. She's a big chonky girl.
Yeah, chonky girl. Just all in like her mole, her starfish, star nose mole.
Yeah, she has those weird little mole hands, and she's kind of creepy, but she's also kind of cute. As you know, moles are they have very, very small eyes, so she avoids your sword, but she does very much.
Put it away, which leaves me half blind, honestly. But
yeah,
it was like, oh, yeah, you big old chunky girl. Come on, help me get your friends. Help me get your friends.
Okay. Do you do you tell her to round up her friends?
I do.
Okay. So she grabs her side of the train, and you notice she's almost like a sheepdog. She kind of like communicates with them non-verbally with clicks, nipping at some of their heels, and gets them all to drop the worm smell and come to their positions. And you notice Blink very quickly comes along and starts attaching little lashings and fixtures to make sure they're all strapped in.
I look at Avren and I'm like, how do those moles work better than we ever did with Penelope and Briv and Alindra? Like, I mean, like they're a better team already in their moles.
Oh God, mean. And also, yes, great team if you strap everyone together and force them to go in a singular direction
that is
for your own locomotion. Did you just compare all of our friends
That's
to
all we ever did. Yes, literally.
Yeah, you're disgusting. You're gross.
We're still missing Larry.
Go rub your mole.
Still missing Larry.
I'm not interested in mole rubbing, not touching purple worms. None of that. None of that. And I go back to where he said Larry was.
Okay, yeah. While this is happening, Avren, give me a perception check.
I perceive a mean person. That's what I perceive. Same.
I'm staying very quiet for
you looking in the mirror.
Same.
Got an 11. Wow. I rolled an 8. Ugh.
You miss it like before it's too late, and you feel a tug at the back of your shoulder as your worm scarf is pulled back, and you hear Blink say, "Starla, no!" And you notice Starla is trying to tug at the worm that is wrapped around your neck, and is doing so successfully as you are kind of like pulled back by the momentum of her weight and her grappling.
Okay. Is the worm screaming?
The worm is in distress, yes. She hasn't been able to like get her teeth in it yet, but her hands are very much on it.
Oh, we're about to lose a mole. I can sense it. I just sense it. Mole down. Radagast is going to be so upset.
I'm just looking forward to watching Avren pull the cart.
I'm going to cast Sanctuary on Sir Beswalat.
I think that means it has to make a wisdom save.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you notice this happening and you cast Sanctuary. I want to give Avren a chance to act, since the mole is kind of, I think you'd have to wait.
Okay, describe to me the pain that the worm is in.
It's in distress. It's nervous. It's scared.
Is it shivering?
Huh?
Is it like shivering?
It's not shivering. It's more in panic mode. It's trying its best to like crawl to safety on top of your head.
Yeah, I shoot it. I shoot that mole right in the head.
Shoot the
guiding
mole?
bolt.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I love mole. That's a 22.
That definitely hits.
Can I reduce the damage?
You can always designate damage as non-lethal damage.
I will designate the guiding bolt as certainly 5 points of damage. Whoever won't kill it. It will, however, light that sucker up and cause it pain. So now
Okay.
it will have a dim glow around it.
All right. As you do so, Starla lets out a squeal and jumps down, and some of the other moles start chittering and hissing at you. And Blink runs forward and he says, Starla, no!
I get right in the alpha's face and I just go,
The alpha isn't here. So it's
oh,
just a
sorry.
bunch of
No,
random moles.
all of them. I just start hissing at them like
Yeah.
like a completely like I'm
You feel like
bonkers.
a
I'm just
batting on your side. As sure enough, you feel the tiny fist of Blink, and he's like, "You bully! You hit Starla!" And he picks Starla up off the floor and starts rubbing his hands along her like smooth head.
You're lucky I'm a bully, not a murderer. I could have easily just killed her.
Well,
She
then
touches my
good
worm
luck
again.
getting out of here. You need them.
Do you need me to heal her?
Well, you should heal her. You're the one who hurt her. She's just a mole.
Look at my worm. My worm is damaged.
She doesn't know that. She's a mole. She sees a worm. She wants to eat it.
And the worm doesn't know it. It's a worm. But now your mole
Exactly.
does know it. Watch
My-
your mole try to eat it again.
Well, okay, but you're the one who put the worm pheromone in the air.
Wait. Sorry, are you saying that my worm is to blame for smelling?
I'm saying you're to blame.
Avren, it's a good thing that you care more about saving a worm that you just found in the last 5 minutes than Callie's father. Let's go.
You hear Freely's voice echo across the
We're
cave.
literally looking for a mole right now because you like to scratch bellies. That's
They're
what's
giving
happening.
us a ride.
We are distracted by moles trying to eat my worm. I do want to go. I do want to continue, but this mole tries to eat this worm one more time, and I will permanently sever it from its own brain.
He's carrying his mole like a baby in his arms, and it's about almost the size that he is because he's a gnome, and he just says,
I'm gonna.
"Axe a mole."
I cast Cure Wounds on it. For 8
It
points.
feels better. Starla feels better, and he strokes her like neck and her underside. Poor mole.
Poor worm.
He angrily like starts to shuffle back to his
Now
mole
let's
train.
find your last mole.
Well, your friend's already on the trail, and he motions towards Freely, who sure enough is like attempting to head off in the direction that Larry headed off in.
Trying.
Sofieus, do you have a safe place that you could put your worm so we could avoid any future confrontations between your pets and his pets?
Well, I was going to say maybe we should put Sir Biswalat back into the bag of holding. That is not his favorite place in the world, but it will do for now if it will save its life. And she takes Sir Biswalat off of Avren's head. Come on now. Carefully puts it back into the bag of holding. Thank you, Avren, for protecting it.
I'm just like looking dead-eye at the gnome. A lot of things can fit in a bag of holding. They can hold up to 500 pounds.
Oh, is that a threat?
Sophia's
You're gonna
nods.
put me in your bag?
Sophia's nods.
Listen here,
Yes.
whippersnapper. I've been around the block for a minute. You could try to put me in your bag, but then you'd be lost down here forever. Ask her. She knows. And he like points at Callie. These caves are treacherous. You don't even know what a flail snail is. These caves would eat you alive.
We
I've
are
been in
not. We are
those-
not here to interrupt. We are here to merely help our
She
friend's
knows.
father.
She speaks gnomish.
I've been in those caves that are really mimics that end up being just a mouth that eats you. They are the
A
worst.
mouth. You walk in. You don't walk out. You just walked into its belly.
It's not fun, believe me. We are very sorry for the inconvenience.
Toby Mick, they call it. It's a terrible thing. You're just there and then you're not.
I had to pull one of my friends out of one of those ones, and it was horrible. And
He was probably half digested.
it is a good thing that we were able to get to him in time. I'm certainly
You
not.
above grounders don't know. You're all
They-
young and you think you're hot shit, but you ain't. These caves will humble ya.
They are incredibly useful, and they're helping me get to my father. And so I'm very grateful
I
for
would
all of
like
their
to-
assistance.
I
Thank
would
you.
like to say for the record that I would say something very witty, but I can't put up with Jasmine's character right now.
I
I would like to say for the record that I would say something very witty, but I can't put up with Jasmine's character right now.
can't put up with Jasmine's character right now. I'm trying to be serious, and I just can't.
Pretend Avren says something witty and cutting. Because I can't.
You're gonna get humbled down here.
You'll get humbled. You'll get humbled.
I have a really good recipe for humble pie.
It's
Don't even know
entirely made
what
out
a
of mold.
flail snail is.
Freely is just summoning the largest cloud of worm stink possible. Like, I don't care. Whatever, like, Underdark horror comes for this, like, buffet of worms.
And this is how we lost Freely.
Yeah, we have
the cave is just
Artificer.
like, oh.
We've got Sophia's Artificer alchemical enhanced purple
Stink.
worm stink, and then we've got like precedent. That word I can't say. This is the worst. Everything's coming for us. We're all gonna die.
Meanwhile, Callie and Blink are exchanging war stories. They're both sitting on a rock exchanging Underdark horror stories.
I would say Callie is trying to keep an eye out, but yeah, more and more she is trying to be the
She
calming
knows, he
influence.
says every like 30 seconds really loudly.
Does anybody else speak Gnomish, or are we the only two? Or are we
The
just
only
like,
two. Yeah.
I think I do actually. I think both Sophius and I do for
okay.
reasons that are very complex.
No, do you okay, then you would understand. Yeah, we're totally Callie is still
and he
like
just
head on a
randomly
swivel.
shouts out words. Corpse flower! You know what a corpse flower is? They'll get ya. They got tentacles. They'll get ya. Corpse flower. She knows. And he keeps pointing back at her.
I have been warning them that pretty much everything down here is dangerous, so we are very lucky to have met you and your moles, even though I'm pretty sure your moles are also very dangerous,
So,
as are you.
Kendall, man, we're still looking for your friend, right? That's what's happening.
Mhm.
By the way, you're like the most disgruntled person I've ever met at a yard sale.
Like, exactly one of us is looking for his lost person.
Yeah, give me a survival check, Freely.
We just have faith in you, Freely. We know that you're going to get the job done. The rest of us are
Really,
just...
you got this.
Yeah. We're like,
You're
yeah,
gonna
it's
be
fine.
It's a 21.
21. So with a 21, sure enough, you start to see the little tiny paw prints in the moss of one mole that is like branched off from the rest. And as you begin to follow it, you notice it, a faint glimmer. The glimmer gets a little bit stronger and stronger. It is there through the mossy, rocky underground, and it's just a shimmering trail that almost looks glassy.
I hit Callie. Well, this psychic link. I'm like, might have a flail snail, and the mole might be on the trail, or also it's probably something terrible because, quite frankly, we're due. And then I head off after the trail.
Oh, Freely,
Okay.
you're going to want to wait. Flail snails are very dangerous, and she'll out loud say to everybody that Freely has found your mole and a flail snail, and we should definitely follow him
Flail
very quickly.
snail, dibs!
Link
so jumps on
what-
one of the mole, starts to take off after it.
Callie
Just
will
right
also...
like a horse.
Oh,
It appears that we're on the trail of the snail.
Get her, girl! Come on, Gabby! And he like smacks the butt of his mole, and he
Please.
takes off, rapidly closing the distance between himself and Freely.
in the psychic calls, Callie will say, please watch out for its tentacles on its head.
We got
Yeah,
us
like-
a flail snail, and you see him pull out like a blunderbuss-esque weapon and like get very animated and excited.
I'm like, I
Oh.
feel like that's just good life advice, Callie, but I do keep following the trail
He's
to
gonna
see, 'cause
shoot
ma-
off guns underground.
because maybe the mole is hurt. You know,
All right,
if the things that pierce him.
Sophius, I guess we have to catch up.
Well, Sophius is going to leave some kale on the trail for the flail snail, just in case we might find some more. Also, there was talk of a corpse flower. Is that something that I can pick on our way?
You
On our
don't
journey?
want to pick a. She knows, and he points at Callie as he's like in the distance now, closer to Freely than he is to all of you. And you notice Gabby is just fast. She's one of his faster moles, although she has the downside of spooking very easily. And as Freely, since you're in the lead, you do notice as you kind of like you turn like a corner behind like some like a formation of taller rocks, and you almost come to like a little round clearing. Here there's a lot less moss, and you notice more tracks of these like glassy things intersecting each other, and you hear the sound of a distressed animal not far away.
I speed up.
As you round the corner, you see it. You see 4 flail snails. One of the flails comes out,
Here.
and Larry, and you could tell because of this big shiny arrowhead sticking right out of his head, it catches his arrowhead, but not him, as he ducks and like hisses back bravely.
Expeditious retreat is 10 minutes. I know time is weird down here, but have 10 minutes elapsed since the time?
I think 10 minutes elapsed. Yeah,
Okay.
for
Yeah, no,
quite a
just
while.
making sure. I'm going to perform the dodge action, but try and get in there and tackle him like a football and get him away from these snails.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But I do call in the call. I'm like, found the mole, found the snails, and then run in and try and save him.
Yeah. So go
Okay.
ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
That is a 19.
A 19. With a 19, you go rolling forward and you grab Larry like a football, and he seems almost startled, and then swoop out right underneath, coming out of range of one of the flails as it snaps right behind your head. And there you are. This is almost like a jutting sort of like outcropping into the rock. So you are now in this like half circle of sharp rock, with your back to it and 4 flail snails around you. And then you hear it. Boom!
Oh.
Shrapnel goes flying everywhere and goes flying wide. Just about everything comes out of this gun. Ball bearings, forks, random pieces of metal and rock, sharp pieces of shells come flying out of the front of this blunderbuss, flying wide and not hitting the snail. And then behind the smoke, you see him, your good friend Blink, who's just like, get on out of here, Gabby. And he like smacks Gabby on the butt, and she goes running back to everybody else. And he's like, I've got your back. We're going to feast on flail snail tonight.
I drop Larry. I'm like, get on home, buddy. Okay.
In Callie's remembrance of flail snails, does she know about the things you're not supposed to do when you attack them?
Let's see. Give me a nature.
I'm like, guess who doesn't? This guy.
I only ask because you said that I knew stuff. Oh, but I rolled a 5, so no, I have no idea.
Okay, well, we'll say that I'll give you some information. You do know that every once in a while, the flail snail's shell can emit a dazzling colored light, and if you get hit by this, it is more difficult to hit. It almost emits a dazzling, glittering light. And the other thing you remember is that flail snail shells can make some very good things.
Lauren loves flail snails, so I'm super excited. But Callie in the call will say,
Blink also loves flail snails. They're his favorite.
Yeah. Freely, be very careful. That shell is mesmerizing, and it can go off at any time. You might want to back away until we are ready.
You need goggles.
I'm like, I feel like we might be past that already.
And you see him starting to pick up more random things from his backpack and shoving them into the front of his blunderbuss, like with this long pole and like with a feathery thing on the end where he's like packing it in.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna need a second, as he's like starting to put more forks and rocks and pieces of shrapnel in there.
Sorry, no, because it could be relevant. Do I feel like these are beasts or these monsters?
These, you get the sense, are not beasts or monsters, but rather almost elemental creatures.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Yes, Callie, you were about to say?
I was going to ask out loud to Blink, do you require these flail snails alive, or were you going to harvest their glass?
Are you there yet? Because I don't think he's inside your psychic link.
He's definitely not. I don't know if I'm there yet.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how far ahead I was. I mean, do I feel like
you'll get a round of, so here's how we're gonna do initiative, actually. Let's do initiative.
Okay.
You don't sound happy.
Oh no, Lauren is loving this.
I got 13.
13. And we'll have Freely go first.
Hey, all right. That is it's a 19 on the initiative, but I'm already here. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
you get a free action before that.
Hey. Okay. Do I feel like, do they seem clearly aggressive?
Yes, towards the mole, yes. Towards you, you're not sure yet.
Well, yeah, no, I definitely tried to send Larry away. I'm going to that is probably not worth it. I'm going to just jump in there on one of them. Like
Okay.
pull my short sword out and like aim for its head. Which that is a 17.
A 17.
Mm-hmm.
That hits.
Okay. I'm going to okay. I'm gonna hit it and I'm going to smite it.
Okay.
And then the second one is a 17, and I also will smite it again. So,
Okay. So a smite counts as a spell attack, correct?
it is not. No, it is not an
Okay.
action. It is
Perfect.
whenever you strike, you can
Awesome.
smite. So that is 6 and 3 just for the sword. Oh, sorry, that is 9 and 3
9 and
just
3,
for
so
the sword.
12.
If it has any sort of mitigation, so I'm giving it to you
It is
separate.
still magic though. It's smites are magic.
Yeah, well, but what I mean, well, they for the damage type, yeah, but you can
Yeah.
smite on multiple attacks, is what I mean.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
I'm giving it to you separate on the off chance there's any sort of mitigation to account for.
Awesome.
So did you say that you can't look at the flail snail's shell, or else it'll mesmerize you or something?
It will emit a bright light. I think that's all that Callie knows.
And then 6 and 8 on the smite.
6 and 8.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh-oh, she's run
So,
off.
As you do this, 2 of the tentacles come slicing off, shriveling up with your smite damage, and you notice 2 of the tentacles fall off and die.
Mm-hmm. How many tentacles are on it?
It has 5, so there's 3 left.
I just yell out, "No, this is gonna be fine. Don't worry about it." Yeah. Yeah, that's it for me. That's attack and bonus, but not reaction. So, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Blink puts, his gun is now loaded, and he goes, "I'll cover you, Larry," and he tries to help Larry sort of retreat since all of these are kind of bearing down on you, and he shoots another one in the back. His shot goes wide again, or rather, it's ineffective against the glittering shell. Shrapnel goes flying every which way. You duck freely as a fork goes flying past your head. Let's see. So your attack went really well. So I'm going to go ahead and give the mole advantage on getting out.
Hey, hopefully it's
4,
distracted.
And I got a 9.
Nice.
So as the mole
Sofieus.
tries to come down underneath, one of the flails juts out and takes an opportunity attack at it. Ooh. And hits.
Oh.
This isn't going to be good. Oh, God. I rolled really high damage, too. Dealing 8 damage to the mole, sending poor Larry reeling as one of the flails smacks the side of his head. He goes scuttling and falls unconscious, kind of a distance away from Blink. And Blink says, "Larry, no!" And he starts loading his gun again, once again, grabbing things from his pack and throwing them into the front of the gun, and then taking his big pole and pushing them down. And it's at this point that the rest of you come bursting into the cave, and you see it. 4 large flail snails bearing down on Freely, a passed out Larry with the arrow head sticking out of his skull, and a very furious Blinks pushing down shrapnel into the thing of his gun. And that's when you see it. 2 more flail snails coming in through the entrance behind you. And that is where we're going to call it for today.
No!
A swarm of flail snails. I love it.
It's Blink's greatest day.
I mean,
This
if he
is a
lives through it.
veritable treasure trove of snails.
I only hope that we survive long enough for you to cook the meat. That'll be great.
And the shell.
Also, guess who's basically out of spells? This guy. I got 2 more, but that's all right. I'm gonna make them count.
It's all right. It's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
I love flail snails so much. They're so much fun.
This is the
This was
first I've
such a
ever
fun
heard of them.
episode. They're
Yeah,
fun.
I didn't
They're
know. I don't know
fun
them
little
either. Yeah.
creatures, and you're gonna learn a lot about them the next time you come across these large elemental creatures known as flail snails. The most underutilized D&D creature, honestly.
I've never
Oh, they're
cooked with a flail snail before. I wonder how they taste.
Escargot of the Underdark.
Did you see that escargot?
The escargot. Yeah, it's gonna escargot got. Yep.
Listen, these caves will humble you.
I'm very prepared to be humbled by snails. That is. I was afraid it was going to be this, or it was going to be some of the mushrooms that try to shriek at us. Either way.
Well, we're not. We still got plenty of time down here, so you know, there's still plenty of time for Terabad stuff.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to all of it.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I had such a great time playing with you all. I hope you and the audience had a great time as well.
Jasmine, you're
so
awesome.
excited to see what trouble we get to in the Underdark.
More than this. More than a pack
I hope
of
this
flail
is just the
snails.
beginning.
Yeah. Thank you, Jasmine. This is awesome.
Of course.
Thank you, Jasmine.
This is such a great game. Let's go around and get some introductions going. B-Dave, where can we find you and what do you do?
B. Dave Walters, I say words about things. I got like something very special I'm working on that hopefully I can announce on Friday. Yay. But I'm somewhere 7 days a week. Let's see, it's Tuesday. Thursday, there's Ascension in the day on Roll For It. Then Thursday nights at 5 is Dungeons & Dragons: A Dark and Wish on twitch.tv/D&D from 5 to 7. And then I'm doing stuff on Friday and Saturday and then stuff that I don't even know if I can tell you yet. So I'm doing things. Just follow me at B. Dave Walters and you'll know where I am.
Awesome. Lauren?
Hi, I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond. I'm going to be on a show tomorrow and where I'm going to be playing Avren's role, except with way less witty things to say. That character is nowhere near as witty. You can find me wherever D&D Beyond is.
Awesome. Todd?
I love hot dogs.
It's true. He really loves hot dogs.
Same. I might need to have a hot dog for dinner, maybe like a chili cheese dog.
What about kielbasa? What's your feeling on kielbasa?
No,
Ooh.
no,
Yeah, no, he likes.
That's
He used
garbage.
to like
That's
kielbasa. He used
garbage.
to make it all the time.
But
No.
now you're just straight hot dogs? All right.
Straight hot dogs now.
Kielbasa with Dijon mustard is the best.
Ooh, yeah.
Nope. Against Scott's plan.
Meagan?
Hey, I'm Meagan Kenreck. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Meagan Kenreck. And I like learning how to cook new things.
Very nice. And I'm that bronze girl. I stream 6 days a week on Twitch. And I also sometimes make interesting / funny Twitter videos. I've been on hiatus for a little while, but I'm kind of back. I'm slipping back into things. I'm also going to be starting up a new Ironsworn co-op campaign on my stream soon with my good friend Josephine McAdam. It's very Blackadder inspired. So if you like that style of storytelling, it's Good Omens meets Blackadder. So we're going to have a great time.
Can I just say that I had a friend of mine tune in who'd never seen this show before and was like, I love your DM. She's so smart and I love her voice. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like she's just describing terrible things and I just love listening to her. I'm like, you can eat me. It's fine. Keep talking, Jasmine. Yeah.
That's so
She does have this very charismatic way of explaining your exact death.
Mhm,
Aw,
mhm.
Thank you. I
I look
love
forward to
playing
the
with you
inevitable
all.
end because it'll be
Yeah.
very well narrated.
Yeah.
Daisy's final victory. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
I did not mean to be mean about the worm, but I just feel like moles would love eating worms. Maybe I'm totally off base with
No,
that.
they're
But
total
my
garbage.
hedgehog,
No, it's-
Moles are the worst.
yeah,
Also,
my
this
hedgehog
is-
used to love eating worms, and I was like, oh, maybe they're like giant hedgehogs. In which case, like you just happened to pull out a worm, and I was like, oh, this is perfect because this is the mole episode.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. I totally
I figured
understand.
something down here. would
This
wanna
show
eat a
is
worm.
canceled though now, so
Please
really,
call this
people hate
episode-
worms, and
Can we just call this the mole episode? Can that
Mole
be the title?
episode.
I
of
was
this?
gonna name it Mole People, but
I mean, we are the mole people though.
Or
We
eat
are
the
now.
worm.
Yeah,
Yep.
we are the.
The early.
now I feel like
early
it should be the
mole gets the
Underdark will humble
worm.
you.
It's true. There it is.
It'll humble you,
all
or
good
just the
options.
episode
Humble ya.
is it'll humble you.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I'm really surprised that I wanted to save a worm.
It's-
Like I was more than willing to eat.
It'll humble you.
It'll
I was,
humble.
I
yeah.
was willing to eat a plesiosaurus, but I wanted to save a
I gotta
worm.
tell you, once a worm is puppy sized, it's like.
Oh, see that the larger they get, the more adorable I think they are. Especially like the moles that have the starfish nose. I think those things are
Yep.
adorable.
Starfish moles. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Moles are kind of cute. They have weird hands, but other than that, they're cute.
Their hands are upsetting.
Yeah.
Hands are
Yeah.
adorable.
The hands of moles, possums, raccoon. Have you ever looked at raccoon hands? They all
Yeah.
have creepy
Yes.
hands.
Also,
Yeah.
my
They're so
my dad
spread
actually
out.
Mhm.
had a raccoon because the South.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
lived in the middle of nowhere, and every can he like left, and his whole apartment was destroyed because it just took the lids off of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a whole bunch of outside cats that
thumbs
we
are
would eat,
evil.
or that we would feed, and we would put like a bowl of water out for the outside cats, and the raccoons would come and just wash their paws. So we had to like replace the water every few hours.
It's terrifying. They're so smart.
They like to keep their hands clean.
You've
Yeah.
seen the cotton candy video, right?
Yes, I felt so
It's
bad
so
for the
sad.
raccoon.
It breaks my heart.
I didn't understand.
The
Wait,
raccoons always wash their food, for those of you who haven't seen it. And there's like a
Yeah.
raccoon at a zoo that gets like its hands on cotton candy, and then it puts it in the water to wash it, and it disappears, and it's just like it's like it doesn't understand what happened. It's the saddest.
No, why would you
Just
do
like,
it?
hello,
video.
darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, it's just like washing its cotton candy, and then it
No.
disappears, and it's like
I imagine that
somebody get
zookeeper
this
thought it was
raccoon.
really funny at first, and then was like, "I've killed
It was
an
probably the
innocent
first
soul."
raccoon that ever had gotten a hold of cotton candy, and it lost it immediately.
And cotton
True.
candy is so fragrantly sugary that raccoon is probably really excited, just
That
like
is like the
smelling
ultimate
this-
nightmare scenario for a raccoon. Yeah,
Yeah, smelling all that sugar, and then it's just gone.
it's like that dissolving pizza. It's like someone delivering pizza to your house, and there's no pizza in it in the box.
See, I
Why
didn't
would you
realize
say
this was,
something so sad?
I didn't realize this was a Call of Cthulhu stream. That's weird. Like,
Everyone in
long
chat, you
con.
get psychic damage.
there it is. We never left the Shonies. That's what you're telling me out of all this.
Next hot dog Avren picks up, it just dissolves in his hands.
Ah.
Oh, it's the worst.
I will play a new character. I swear to God.
Narrator voice. That was a lie.
What if
Oh,
what
yeah.
if hot dogs were the weakness of Avren? Like if
What do
you
you
ate
mean
a
they
hot
are?
dog.
No,
I was
for
about to
real.
say,
they
what
are.
do
No,
you
but like
mean?
if you ate a hot dog, your armor class goes down.
No, don't even, Jasmine.
Ugh.
Listen, that's nothing my wife says. My wife is full of nothing but bad ideas. And,
lies and deceit.
Yep.
The hot dog is a lie.
You will be undone.
Well, it's a lie, but it's a lie that we all tell to ourselves.
The cake is a lie. Yep.
Listen, depends on what kind of hot dogs you're having. The Hebrew
I
National-
know. Well, I know
Yeah.
your Hebrew nationals.
Yeah.
Stop pushing the Hebrew nationals on me.
Never. I'll
There's
be
this
hot dogs.
food cart out in Portland that serves like a lot of different hot dogs, and I had a crocodile hot dog from them, and it was amazing.
I've had rattlesnake and crocodile. I've had
Yeah.
in Los Angeles. There's a very, very fancy hot
Mhm.
dog place. It's probably not even there anymore, but they serve you like all kinds of mixes. They're
Mhm.
wonderful.
Mhm.
Rattlesnake was very good.
Yeah.
It's
Rattlesnake
delicious.
is wild. Yeah. Rattlesnake
Yeah.
is wild.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's face it. They're just trying to get us to eat the hot dogs, but
It's true.
it's fun. It's fun to
Not
know.
like that domesticated rattlesnake hot dog.
Yeah, not
that
that.
everyone's feeding you.
Not one of those, those free range rattlesnakes.
I'm also kind of a fan of those weird like gourmet hot dogs. Like we used to have this place called Podog that was in Seattle that was just
Yeah.
I
remember
loved that place. It was a hole in the
Yeah.
wall, and it was just like
Does anyone know the Hot Dog King?
no.
No.
He had a little cart out down in the Union District, and he got like kicked out because like there was too much money. Like he couldn't get enough permits because there were so many restaurants downtown in Seattle, and he was the Hot Dog
Oh.
King, and him and his partner were like serving up hot dogs all the time, and they were like really good.
In South
All
Lake
the
Union?
hot dog places get shut down. Diggity Dog got shut down too, which is a Korean hot dog place that was in Greenwood.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
they would do kimchi and bulgogi dogs.
Oh
and
my
they
God.
spiral cut them.
So weird.
Yeah. No, we're gonna be here all night. We got
I was
There's
about
the
to-
worst
I was about to
place.
say,
The worst
like,
place is that still around.
I was like, I hate to be that guy, but for Will's sake, our back office goblin who will never say anything. We should
Will,
stop
what
saying
hot
words
dogs
so the
do you
man
like,
can
Will?
sleep. Yeah,
But put in the chat what hot dogs you like.
it's true.
Do
Thank
you
you so much
prefer
for joining us
whole hot
today.
dogs or sliced hot dogs?
He's like the
That's-
one I'm going to go eat when you people stop talking and let
Spiral
me
cut.
go. Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We will see you
Good
next
night,
Tuesday for
everyone.
another
Thanks for listening to
episode.
Silver and Hot Dogs.